Man, I love having solar. I spent a lot of money and a lot of time setting this up. But I got some bad news today. My electric bill the last 2 months is double what it was this time last year. Double usage, price per kilowatt hour is the same, but the usage doubled, and I thought, that's horseshit. There's no way that that's true. So I called up the power company, and they read to me every hour over 24 hours what my power consumption is. And the power consumption went up directly with the output of my solar system. So what's happening is the power that this thing makes, I'm getting charged for. Fuck! Okay, let me show you something. Alright, so hopefully you can see the meter. It's a digital meter. It's called a, hell is it? C1SR. You can look that up on the web. But anyway, you see those dots in the bottom right hand corner? Those simulate the old wheel in the old analog meters. And you see it's basically going from right to left. See that? Well, right to left on the old meters and the new ones is spinning backwards. So this thing is seeing my solar system push a lot of power. That solar system's 4,000 watts on paper. So you can see it's going backwards. If I go shut it off, it'll go very slowly the other direction. See that? So anyway, what happens is any extra power that I make that I don't use, like, you know, the air conditioner's off, gets pushed back into the grid, going through this meter, and it adds to those numbers instead of subtracting from them. God, that sucks. I just found that out and I've been here 16 months. Now, the only time my solar system does work is like summertime when the air conditioning's running all the time, or in the winter, because that's a heat pump actually. It produces electricity and, or produces heat and cooling. So it draws a lot of power in either mode. Well, if it's drawing power, it draws it first from the solar system, then from the grid. So when this thing's running, which it hasn't run in 2 months because it's just nice out today, it's like 70, right? So I'm not going to stand here and bore everybody long enough for that 5 to flip over to a 6, but it was a 0 earlier this morning. It was 70 and 66,570. Now it's 75. So I'm being charged for making my own power. So I got a hold of the engineering department for my power company, and the guy confirmed it. He says, yeah, that's to keep people from hooking up solar and endangering the linemen that work on the line. He said, we have to know where everybody's solar system is, so if we have to check it for being shut off when they work on the lines, which I can tell you they do a lot around here. Got a lot of wind and stuff, and the lines get taken down. We get power outages quite often. Anyway, son of a bitch. Oh, God. So now I know why my power bill doubled, which, you know, okay, that sucks. Let's just say it just sucks. I went from $40 a month to $80 because of my solar system. That just sucks. But what it shows me is I'm producing as much power as I use. So it went from 300 kilowatt hours last year to 600 a month this year. That's exactly double the 300. 600 is exactly double 300. So I'm making exactly what I use. So in theory, the electricity side of my bill would be close to 0 if that meter wasn't set up that way. So the engineering guy explained to me that you have to go through a bunch of inspections. You got to pull a permit from the county first, and you have to submit drawings. Drawings don't bother me. Pulling a permit, it's a little bit of money. But I have to do that through them first. Once that's done, then I bring the power company guy over here, and here he's the hard ass. He's the guy that has to make the last decision of how this looks. And he says the county's real easy. They don't really give a shit what your system looks like. but I have to add, he told me I have to add another meter, and I have to add a disconnect. You know, you see those boxes with the levers and you clunk and you disconnect the power, but I can't add it up, let's see, where is it? Up here where the breaker box is, you see on the house between the panels. You can't add it there, he said, you have to add it over on the pole. And he says, well, then you have to trench through the ground. And I thought, I can't trench through the ground for, well, I could, but it's probably going to get me killed. That's where my propane line goes. See, propane goes underground and all the way to the house. Right there. There's the propane going into the house. So trying to string electricity across propane, that does not compute. Nobody's going to let that fly, and I know I wouldn't let it fly. Then when they finally get here, they see shit like, you know, the air conditioning wiring. This is how it was when I got here. It's like it's hanging out in space. There's no little kids here, so I'm not worried about it. But I do have, see all the conduit on the ground? This is for what that is for, is to put all that stuff inside a conduit. And I got a bunch of angles and shit and bags in the inside of the house. So, you know, I really wanted to not have this problem. I was hoping it was my refrigerator or something like that, but it ends up being something that's got a lot of horsepower potential, which is my solar system. So until I need to start turning on the heat, I just have to leave this off. The only reason I had it on was to show you guys what's going on. So for right now, we shut the power off. That's it. Oh, that pisses me off. And see, my wiring's all jerry-rigged, and see sitting there on the deck, and the other wires over here. That's 240 volts. Yeah, well, I've been doing this a lot of years. I don't care. It's safe to me, but it won't pass inspection. So anyway, the hardware we use, the N-phase inverters, is very safe. As soon as the power goes out around town here, boom, they shut off and stop putting out power. So that's a safe thing. Anyway, oh yeah, the top view up here, take a look. That's my cell phone sitting there. See, with the propane sitting there, digging a trench across like this to that is not any good. He said maybe we can work on an exception, which would be better, to just put the stupid meter like up here on the side or some shit like that, and the disconnect. Because here comes the two lines from the solar system. So that would be really helpful if I could just tie it to the box. This box has the 200 amp main breaker in it, and that other thing on the pole's got one too. So I think it might qualify, but honestly, the county I live in, they don't give a shit about a lot. It's mostly the power company because they're the last ones to sign off. All right, enough complaining. I'm pissed as hell. I'm screwing myself on the money and just don't have that kind of money to be throwing in the trash. Anyway, it's nice here in November. 70 degrees plus every day. Last year we had a freeze warning, so we're doing really good this year. That's it for now. See you, bye.